out of the 200 attendees, having 40 people posting without us asking for anything, I thought it was mind-blowing. That was for me a real aha moment. I don't think it's going to be a big change from what we did this year, but it's going to be, people going home with even more connections.
First of all is experience, like we just said, delivering great experiences, and that's what I think we completely agree on. Everything we do has to be excellent.
Welcome to the Revenue Discussion Podcast. This is episode 15. So, every 5 episodes we give an update of what's going on behind the scenes of Usights. And in this episode, we'll also deep dive a little bit on our experience with We Are Sales, because recently we hosted the We Are Sales conference, which was for us a first. But I think I can humbly say that it was also the biggest sales conference that have ever been held in Belgium. And so I think it's going to be pretty interesting to actually kind of share our experience around how it went, what people thought, what were our lessons, what were our big mistakes, and how we will try to even improve that in the future. So Martin, maybe I'll just, hit you with the first question. But, what was for you We Are Sales?
I think for Usights, We Are Sales was pivotal. It was for us a big, I would say, struggle in the beginning. Like, what were we going to do? We knew we wanted to start a community. So it was either we go small events at a time, do it like with 10, 20 people and build up slowly, or we go big at one time. I think that's We Are Sales. We went straight in, put all our time in for 5 months to then come to like a conference where everybody comes together, connects, and learn from each other. Especially that first part, the connecting, was unbelievable on the day itself, and what you hear from everybody, people coming together, learning from each other, people that haven't seen each other for many years, and they were just like enjoying themselves. I think that's We Are Sales, the really bringing together of the sales community.
And I think that's especially also interesting for people that are in sales, because people that are in sales, they attend several events, but mostly with the purpose of generating new business. And I think this was an event where they could really just be themselves, share their real challenges, the doubts they have with people that, are facing those same challenges and doubts every day. And so it was really a time for them to connect, in my opinion. And that's literally a feedback I got, that just could really connect to another level. It wasn't a sales pitch. It wasn't a, I'm just going to be friendly to get the contacts afterwards. It was really just purely connecting.
Yeah, that's actually probably surprising to many people, because sales conferences are often known as salespeople selling to each other. I've been to others that it's been a bit like that, where you clearly feel like, okay, we've talked for 2 minutes and now the sales part can begin. And that was really fun. And I think in general, everything went pretty smooth, even though we'll have some learnings. And I think we will dive deeper into this as well right now.
I think that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe I'll share one of my first lesson. And maybe that's not, it's not a lesson that comes from a failure or a mistake. It's really more of an aha moment. And it's actually something that, I've heard many times, and which is, the sentence, make the product so good that people just start telling about it to their friends, to their family, whatever. And I remember before the conference, we were thinking of how can we incentivize the attendees of the conference to promote the event on social media. Think of a photo booth, think of call to actions where, where you literally say, share it on social media and several things like that. At the end, we didn't do any of that because we had so many to-dos and, we couldn't find the time to really develop a great idea. But at the end, I think because I tried to thank everyone that said something on social media, but I think about 40 people posted on social media about We Are Sales. Out of the 200 attendees, having 40 people posting without us asking for anything, I thought it was mind-blowing. That was for me a real aha moment, where it's actually good that you spend more time into the development of your product, the experience, the customer experience, which is, I think, a second lesson we got from the conference. Because if that's so good, people would just talk about it. They were happy to be part of that, of the journey of that experience. And that was for me definitely a lesson I will take forever with me. How was
Yeah,
for you?
sure. And
Maybe.
I think I was more responsible for the operational side. Um, and even though we had some experience in events, not something of like this kind of people and this size, it's always there comes more into it than you think of it. Like the logistics, the people, and especially for me, the people part. Sometimes it's very difficult to get a hold of somebody the first time, but once you have a bit of their trust and you have them on the line, I would say, they're like, yes, we want to help, we want to support you, we want to build this together. And I think that was a bit similar to yours, but still a learning. Like you have to do the effort up front to then reap in the benefits. And then logistical wise, I think preparation is everything. I think for the next time we will do everything probably in half the time, just because we don't have to search for everything of like what should be the norm, what should be this, what should be this, and that's my third learning actually. Sometimes we don't have to doubt too much. We've been doubting a lot during, I would say, the first couple of months of preparation. Like, should we do it that way? Should we do it that way? That way? That way? And sometimes just follow the gut feeling and just go for it,
Hmm.
because in the end it will all be fine.
Yeah, it's better to take a decision faster than having 100% certainty about the decision, but taking it way later than you could. No, I agree with that one, and I agree also with the logistics, or in general operational activities. It didn't run smoothly as we hoped to. It's not something that we expected, but if you know that you still have to produce a 4 meter by 5 meter banner, twice of it, the day before the conference, and you start flipping out because DHL we're not able to deliver it on time. You're like, oh gosh, what are we gonna do now? But I mean that's kind of part of the journey. I
I
you
think
know
as well, the good thing we can say about it, it was not really noticeable on the day itself for the people. We might have been stressed in the background the 2 days beforehand. I think we slept like 3 hours each, but it was not noticeable on the day itself, and that was beautiful about it. I think it was still pretty smooth the way everything was run. So actually, very happy about the turnout. Just the preparation up front could have been a bit better.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that. What time did during the conference, did you start to realize, all right, it's going, I can just start to also enjoy the conference now?
To be honest, for me it was very late. To me, it was only when all the talks were finished, because I was mainly responsible for all the speakers. So as long that was not like done, for me it was not an enjoyable moment. But then the moment after it, it was really a relief. Like yes, it went well. People were happy. So then I enjoyed it much more. I think for you it was a bit earlier in the day. I would say.
Yeah, I think after the lunch was a very, for another reason, a stressy period. But then after that, people had eaten, people were connecting. We had a little activation with the padlock and the key, and people were bringing it in. So that went well as well. So from that moment on, I was more chill, could enjoy a little bit more of the conference myself, could connect with many people too. So yeah, but yeah.
Maybe a question from my side. Next year we do it again, 11th of May. Shameless plug. Um, what would you do different to make it even better?
I think also kind of based on the feedback that we got is you know have more opportunities to connect with people. I think we did a great job already, but you can do it much better, and it's because we wanted to do too much, too condensed. We wanted to have all the sessions, we wanted to have you know people to connect, but in really a small time frame, and I think that we could do that a little bit better. So you know I don't think it's gonna be a big change from what we did this year, but it's gonna be, you know, people going home with even more connections and new friends. I think that would be the ultimate goal for next edition. How about you? Same thing?
100% agree. I think that's one we are completely aligned on. And like I said before, the preparation up front. But that's operational side. But like, experience-wise, a bit less sessions, more breaks, and start a bit earlier with the networking drinks. It was clear that everybody wanted it to start an hour or two earlier. So that's a learning, but it's a
Yeah.
good one.
There were also some people requesting, for next year to have an after party or an after work, but a real party. Do you think we're gonna do that, or we've never discussed this yet, actually?
Uh, I think A party, I think it's a different event for me because I have the feeling that it's some people are very loud about it, and I like it because I'm also a fan of it. But I think it's still the minority of the people. I think it's better if you take a separate event where it's just about enjoying partying. I think it's a great way to celebrate our memberships. So that's how I would
Ah,
see a party on it.
celebrating the memberships. There, you said something interesting, and I think it could be good to transition to the next topic, which is of course the next thing that we have launched, which is the membership. Because to go back a little bit in time, we decided to host the We Are Sales conference as an experiment, a test to see whether or not there is a market for it. Are they happy with organizing an initiative where we gather people and they connect and learn from each other? And now you know we did it, we tested it, we validated it, and we even got feedback from the market requesting kind of more of it. So I think that's kind of for us, the that was the kickoff that we needed to really start up with the membership. And I think it could be kind of interesting, to just share with the audience, with the community, what we have in mind with the membership, because it's interesting to have a membership, but what does it really entail? What is really our vision, our mission? What do we want to achieve? Maybe a first question for you, Martin.
Yes.
Coming 12 months, what do you expect to see with that community?
I think everything what we're gonna do starts from three things. I would say. First of all, is experience. Like we just said, delivering great experiences, and that's what I think we completely agree on. Everything we do has to be excellent. We prefer to do a bit less events, but make it very good. And then the two parts of it are learning and connecting. And to incorporate all of this, I think we'll do like three big events: the We Are Sales, then a big sales dinner roundtable that we're gonna launch soon, and then something for more this, the less senior members, so more the junior kind of sales, so like an SDR day, something like that. And in between that, it will all be around connection, I would say, like small events for a certain person, because I think what is important and what we envision is that people of the same level and the same, like I would say, not industry, but like the same type of
Sales
company,
environment. Yeah.
yeah, sales environment want to be together. So we're gonna make smaller events for each like persona, I would say, so they can really connect and form their small little bubble circle within the community. And then besides all those physical experiences, we still have the online experiences of like networking, roundtables, and those kind of things. I think
Hmm.
that those are for me the main guidelines within the community. I think. Do you want to add something to that?
Yeah, I think you're straight on. Thing that I would like to add maybe is you have the first thing that it's connection, and really have the right people to connect with, which will be an important role of Usights into that community building. But I think also be a facilitator and moderator of deep dive discussions into their responsibilities, their challengers, and ambition. And I think there, you have that concept of roundtables. I call it interactive debates, where everyone has to participate in the discussion, in the debates, because I think that everyone, and especially if you have 10 to 20 years of experience, you are an expert in some, I mean, in the thing that you do. And so I think that everyone has a voice that needs to be heard. Of course, you also have to listen to the others. But if everyone is active, participating in those debates, in those discussions, I think the community is just gonna get so much more knowledge, because that's the thing. You have those sales trainers, sales coaches, leadership coaches, and they have a whole baggage of knowledge, and that's good, and they share it proactively. But all those other people inside the community, they are also experts. They have also had aha moments. They have also had their experience, their a specific knowledge. So that's probably 90-95% of knowledge that is just being left there inside their mind. And I think it's going to be key for us to kind of incentivize them to participate in those discussions and really share what they have experienced. And and that's just going to be for the best of the community.
Yeah, I think you touch on something very important, a bit like the input of everybody. It's not our community, it's the sales community. So everybody needs to have their saying. Also in the events, I would say. I'm now like listing all the events we're gonna do, but I'm sure we're also gonna along the way get some feedback. Hey, we wanna have this, hey, we wanna have that. Then we can still see how does this fit in like the whole framework
Yeah,
of the community and put their input in our framework, I would say.
definitely. No, definitely. That's why I'm saying we are the organizer, the facilitator, the moderator, but the community at the end that's not us. That's really the people, that makes that community possible. And yeah, and I think, a benefit of us being people from a young age, that's how people like to perceive us sometimes. The benefit of it is that we are no real domain experts yet. We will probably in the future be, could be around revenue activities, could be about community building, but right now we're just doing the stuff. We want to make it happen, but we are not the experts, so we don't, ethically dare to push ourselves forward and be the leader of the we know everything and listen to our story. So I think that's that has a benefit because we will push the community forward. We want people to participate in those discussions because we don't have the loudest voice, or we shouldn't have the loudest voice at least. So I think yeah, I'm pretty curious to find out how it will evolve.
Yes, indeed. And it's like you say, we're also not really biased. We don't have the 20 years of experience ourselves, so we're not going to judge immediately like, oh, no, that's nothing. Oh, that's good. So we can really listen to the opinions to then formulate the way like the community has to go. So you touched on a very good point.
All right. So yeah, so just to sum up, the membership, it is a yearly membership. There is a solo membership where you can just take it for yourself or for you and a colleague. Then you have two memberships, right? Or you take the company membership, which is then for the entire sales organization. Uh, doesn't matter if you have junior profile into your organization, they can then also access everything that we do. It's mostly event driven, virtual event, in person event, but we also have a sales leadership library, or of library of content, I should say, where also our partners are participating. I look at partners such as Gong Outreach. Those are sales tech companies, but are really investing a lot of research and development into the future of sales and how can technology enable better sales, approach. And I think it's also very interesting to have their insights. Just we will just try to, within that membership, provide any content, any networking initiatives, any opportunity to learn from each other. And yeah, I think if there are any other question, you just ask Martin or me to help you further, and we'll be more than happy to do that. All right.
That's it. That's it.
With that, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you, Martin, for the insights, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
See you soon.